Johnny Dale, 27, he grew up in the northwest suburb of Chicago. Throughout his schooling, he focused on athletics, good grades, and quality time with family and friends. He received his bachelor's degree in accounting in Illinois Wesleyan University, where he played club volleyball and was involved in the Office of Residential Life. Staying on track, Johnny obtained an audit winter internship with McGladrey and Pullen in Chicago during his junior year. Sorry, that's like economic stuff. I'm a comic. I have no idea about math. Which turned into a full-time position following graduation. Before facing the real world, Johnny backpacked through Europe for a month, and upon coming home, was ready for a new chapter in his life and came out to his family and friends. Shortly after coming out, Johnny realized a career in accounting was not the best route for him. He left the accounting industry to figure things out and started working at the family meat market in Lakeview. Feeling more comfortable with his current job and himself, Johnny was on the lookout for a career he could be passionate about. Almost a year ago, he had the urge to pay it forward and started a nonprofit called Equality America. His goal in creating this group was to help people visually show their support for marriage equality and the LGBT community as a whole. Since the creation of the group, Johnny, alongside his family and friends, has sold hundreds of wristbands and keychains bearing the name Equality America in the hopes of offering visual support to those struggling with their sexual orientation. Equality America continues to evolve and through transparency and vulnerability is an organization which hopes to motivate members of the LGBT community who struggle with their sexuality to become confident in who they are and to be true to themselves. Did you know, during Johnny's Euro trip in 2009, his group of friends decided to bypass hotels and hostels for a night in Nice, France, and instead slept on the beach. Just their luck, the beach was full of stones and not sand, and it was nothing. But it was nothing grapefruit and wine for dinner couldn't cure. Like everything. So please put it up for Johnny B. Gale.
How's it going? A little nervous, sorry. First off, I just wanted to say thank you for the 29 other members that have been honored today. It's people like you who provided a light at the end of the tunnel for me. It's positive, driven, loving people like you who inspire others to be true to themselves. So thank you. Secondly, I wanted to thank Windy City Times for choosing me for the 30 Under 30. I was very shocked when I got the email. But like I said, very honored. I followed my heart in creating EA and working hard to motivate the LGBT community. And honestly, I feel there are many others way more worthy than myself. That being said, encouraging messages from people that watch my video blogs online, motivation from loved ones and my family and friends, and nights like this tell me I'm doing something right and to keep trucking along. So thank you. And last but not least, I'd like to thank anyone who has ever supported me during my coming out journey, especially my parents. Because of how lucky and blessed I was, support-wise, it has been heavy on my heart to pay it forward. Pay it forward support-wise, especially to those that aren't in the best of situations, to help them be true to themselves. So thank you.
All right. Next, Miss Monica Beverly Hills. 29, has been through many transformations in her life. The latest one has turned her into an advocate for trans women everywhere. She came out as a transgendered woman as a cast member in the 5th season of RuPaul's Drag Race. I've seen every episode. Monica has been telling her story and spinning across the dance floors since. Monica's Glory is a tribute to 2 women who gave her life. Elsie De Jesus, Monica's biological mother, gave birth to Monica when she was impossibly young and tormented by life on the streets. At the age of 4, Monica, or Manio, as she was known as a child, was adopted by her mother's sister, Gladys. Raised on the rough streets of Chicago's Latino Northwest Side, Monica, who sashayed and stole her sister's clothes and high heels and made good use of them, was like no other boy. When Gladys died tragically, leaving behind 5 children, Monica, then 15, moved to Kentucky to join her biological mother. In small-town Kentucky, Monica was the only openly gay person at her high school. Monica soon moved back north to Chicago, where she began performing in drag. By 18, she became the main diva at various Latino gay clubs like Rancho Luna, Mambo Cafe, and Club Dulces. When street life in Chicago proved too brutal, Monica followed in her mother's footsteps and moved to Kentucky. There, Monica became a castmate at her town's only gay bar. Soon after, Monica was called to Hollywood to compete in RuPaul's Drag Race. The rest, my beautiful humans, is history in the making. And did you know Monica is horrifically scared to get behind the wheel of a car? She would rather ride a bike or get a piggyback ride to her gigs. How sweet. Monica Beverly Hills, ladies and gentlemen. Monica, unfortunately, could not be with us tonight due to a booking thing that happened, but I will make sure that she gets her award personally. Thank you.
Annie Castronovo. Annie Castronovo, 23, is originally from Worcester, Massachusetts. Studied political science at St. Michael's College in Burlington, Vermont. As a student at SMC, Annie became involved with HIV/AIDS activism through the Student Global AIDS Campaign. To develop a better understanding of the global HIV/AIDS pandemic, Annie studied abroad in Gulu, Uganda. In Uganda, Annie researched the positive impact community health workers had on HIV/AIDS prevention strategies, as well as the delivery and destigmatization of ARV treatment. After graduating in May 2013, Annie joined the Episcopal Service Corps and began working at Chicago House and social service agency's Trans Life Center. At the Trans Life Center, Annie assists program staff with housing, medical, legal, and pop-in programming. Annie also volunteers in the Transformative Justice Law Project of Illinois, in Illinois' name change mobilization, where they assist transgender and gender-variant individuals with obtaining their legal name change. Annie has committed to a second year of the Episcopal Service Corps and will be continuing their work at Chicago House. After their service year, Annie plans on attending law school in hopes of developing skill sets that will make them a better advocate of the LGBTQAI positive community. Did you know Annie auditioned for The Real World during their senior year of college and got through to the second round, but tanked the group interview and never got called back again? Well, thank goodness they didn't, because now they're here. So give it up for Annie Castronovo.
That was like a dark time in my life when I didn't know what I wanted to do. So reality TV seemed fine. So thank you to Chicago House for hiring me and sponsoring this event. So yeah. And then also thank you for the Trans Life Center for letting me work there and also letting me learn from all of you and everyone here too on the stage. It's been amazing to be able to work with people who I consider mentors and who give me an idea of who I'd like to be in the future. Thank you for the Julian Year, which is the Episcopal Service Corps, for giving me a space to question everything and showing me where to channel the anger that comes from questioning everything. And also for showing me the importance of having a spiritual well to drink from when I feel empty. And thank you for Sarah and Parker for filling that well when it is empty with laughter and other fun things. And thank you to Sarah, Parker, and Morgan for not letting me get lost in caring for the bleeding crowd and reminding me I need a friend. And thank you for my parents for loving and accepting me. This is weird. Even when I couldn't do it for myself.
Breezy Cephas. There we go. Breezy Cephas, 22. Born in Chicago and raised in Hopkins Park, Illinois. Breezy started volunteering at an early age, first at Pembroke Nursing Home in 2003, and then at New Beginnings Shelter for Abused Cats and Dogs. In 2009, she relocated to Chicago. She attended Dawson College to obtain her GED and NCCER certification in 2011. She received an award from the Center on Halstead for Leadership and Activism in 2013. Also, Breezy was part of a group of people who went to Springfield to talk to senators about funding for homeless youth in 2014. In addition, she was a youth organizer for an LGBTQ homeless youth shelters youth summit held this year. She is currently volunteering with the SAGE program and belongs to a group called the Chicago Coalition for the Homeless. And did you know, by the way, Breezy collected stuffed animals until she turned 20 years old. I'm pretty sure she still does. Come on, let's be out with it. Once again, Breezy Cephas.
Thank you. When I first heard about this nomination, I didn't know what it was. So somebody told me what it was, and I was like, oh, that's cool. It's an honor, though, like seeing what everybody is doing, and I hope to continue to do work in the community and to be a positive peer model.
Dustin Erickstrom. A native of Minnesota, Dustin now calls Chicago home after nearly 11 years in the Windy City. Dustin studied marketing, communications, and retail business at Columbia College. He was a key member of the management staff that launched Taverna 750, a popular bar and restaurant in the Lakeview neighborhood. Dustin began his fundraising career in 2009, leading his CMSA flag football team in the annual benefit, Leather and Lace. After 4 years of this popular event, the group has raised more than $7,000 for Birch Family Camp, with donations and participation growing each year. As the manager of special events for Center on Halstead, he has successfully developed and executed LGBTQ community events, exceeding fundraising goals while increasing the visibility of Center on Halstead and its mission. Dustin is a leader in the network of development professionals for many LGBTQ nonprofits, meeting quarterly to stay connected about how to partner on community initiatives, including the Unity in the Community, including the Unity in the Community Pride Parade entry. He is also a member of the Gay Marketers of Chicago. And did you know, Dustin is usually eating something and his eyelashes are real. Unfortunately, we won't be able to know that because he is not here. Let's give it up for Dustin Erickson.
And why, that is correct. Okay, here we go. Pastor Jamie Frazier. A fresh voice. These are words that people often use to describe Jamie Frazier, affectionately known as Pastor J. A native of Moncks Corner, South Carolina, Jamie owes much to the mother, Irene Frazier, and grandmother, Dorothy Frazier, who raised him. These two women taught Jamie the importance of serving God and loving people. Jamie attended Vanderbilt University on a full tuition scholarship. While at Vandy, he, among other things, launched a successful campus ministry. Now a seminary student, Jamie, 28, recently started the Lighthouse Church of Chicago. The heart of this church's mission is clearly expressed in its motto, passionate about Jesus, serious about justice. The Lighthouse strives to be a congregation where Christ is worshipped and all are welcome and justice is pursued. You can learn more about both Pastor J as well as the Lighthouse at www.lighthousechicago.org. And did you know, you will now, that Pastor J can't cook and find single men who can simply irresistible. I know there's some of you out here tonight. Give it up for Pastor Jamie Frazier.
I first want to thank the two she-roles in my life. First, Tracy of Windy City Times, and secondly, Kim Hunt of Affinity. I'm grateful for your wisdom and for the times that you're always willing to sit down and do one-on-ones. I appreciate it. I think this award is less about me as an individual, and it's more a celebration of the community that I'm fortunate to pastor. They are bold and courageous people, folks who are willing to claim sacred space in a culture in which the marginalized are often silenced in religious communities. They're folks who fight for marriage equality. They're folks who work to address LGBTQ youth homelessness in our city. And they are folks who help to enroll people in the Affordable Care Act. I'm very grateful and I'm proud to be the leader of that spiritual community. And what kind of pastor would I be if I didn't invite you to church? Join us any Sunday at 10 a.m. at Glessner House Museum at 1800 South Prairie. And the church says amen.
And now we come to Nick Furtwängler. Nick, 29, was born in the suburbs of Cincinnati, Ohio. After earning his bachelor's degree from the University of Cincinnati, he moved to Chicago to attend the Chicago-Kent College of Law. While in law school, Nick joined the board of the Lesbian and Gay Bar Association of Chicago as a student board member. After law school, Nick joined LAGBAC as a full board member and became the chairperson of the Programming and Events Committee. In his capacity as chairperson, Nick organizes free legal education seminars for students and practitioners that focus on LGBT issues in the legal world. Nick works in the Chicago office of Deloitte Tax LLP and the firm's corporate tax consulting practice. His practice includes analyzing tax returns for potential refund opportunities and corporate controversy issues. And did you know that Nick's pinky fingers are crooked? And Anthony Bourdain has Nick's dream job. Mine too. Please put your hands together for Nick Furtwängler.
Thank you, Windy City Times. And I'm 29, so I made it by about 8 months. And I think I'm the oldest person up here, which is really depressing. But got to have to start somewhere, right? Well, at least sitting. Yeah. I wanted to congratulate everyone who won as well, and I think it's kind of the culmination of everyone's work up here and everyone's work in the community has been in the past year when we got marriage equality for the state of Illinois, which is amazing. We were a little slow to do it, but certainly on the right side of history. In my capacity as a board member of the Lesbian and Gay Bar Association, I've really focused on education and training LGBT and ally attorneys on the issues that affect our community and affect the LGBT community and how we can address those in a fair and equal way. And I think that education is really how our community has moved as far as we have, and ultimately how we will move so that every LGBT person in the country and hopefully abroad has equal rights someday, hopefully in our lifetime, and if not in mine, maybe in the 16-year-olds. So thank you very much.
Next up, the all-American boy himself, Steve Grand. Wasn't so long ago that Steve Grand, 24, was a little-known Chicago singer-songwriter. That changed July 2nd, 2013, when his self-funded music video, All-American Boy, posted to YouTube. The song, about unrequited love between two men, went viral, accumulating more than 3 million with an M views, landing Steve on Good Morning America and CNN, and catapulting the song to BuzzFeed's list of the 24 most brilliant music videos of 2013. Steve has been hailed as a viral sensation and one of this country's first openly gay country stars. Steve released a second single, Stay, and then a third, Back to California, which offers a sneak peek at his first full-length album, due out this fall. And, did you know, Steve has the third most funded music project in the history of Kickstarter. Let's all give it up. Steve Grand.
Sorry, I'm a musician, so I just naturally come up and do this. Yes, I'm the lead person. I'm sorry about that. No disrespect to anyone here. I'm very sorry. I try to be on time all the time. But yeah, that's I drove in from the suburbs, so that was. Well, I feel like I have to really thank all the people that first shared my video. It's going to be in 6 days. It will be exactly 1 year since I uploaded All American Boy to YouTube and pressed share on Facebook, and that's all I did. I had no one behind me, no manager or anything. All I was able to do at that point, because I had spent all my money and maxed out my credit card to make this video and record this song, was to press share on Facebook and hope people would, maybe pass it around and see it. And so it's only because people were inspired by it, and that they shared it with their friends, and their friends shared it with their friends, that any of this happened at all. So I really feel so grateful, and I feel like more than I've done, I really have to thank all the people who have made this possible. And with the visibility this has gotten, I get messages every day from kids all over the country and all over the world who really feel inspired by what I've done, and seeing an openly gay singer-songwriter getting attention by mainstream media, and that's meant a lot to a lot of people. And so it's so incredible to be able to do something that you love that inspires people, or that makes people feel less alone in the world. So more than anything, I'm so grateful that kind of what I've always wanted to do, by kind of accident, it's ended up being something that inspires people. So I feel really fortunate for that, and I'm so grateful to be a part of such an exciting time in the LGBTQ movement. We've really come so far, and we need to, it's good that we pat ourselves on the back now and then. I think sometimes we could be a little critical of each other, but I'm really proud of how far we've come, and I just think it's important now that, as gay people are getting more and more rights, we really need to make sure that we're there for our transgender brothers and sisters who have even a longer way to go now. So let's really make sure we're there for them and keep moving the ball forward. Thank you, everybody. And thanks, Winnie St. Times, for giving me this honor.
Zach Holler. Zach Holler, 30, was just sneaking it in. Was born and raised in the Twin Cities suburbs, graduating with honors from the University of Wisconsin-Madison in 2006. Since college, Zach has been recognized for leadership and creativity in the fields of fitness, technology, entrepreneurship, and immigration law. There's a field right there. Wow. All over the place. As a fitness instructor with the Chicago Athletic Clubs, Zach has created original class formats while bringing new styles and perspectives to age-old formats. And he has been featured in Time Out Chicago, WCIU The U, and NBC Chicago. While living in Chicago, he was inspired by the lack of universal web-based lost and found system, and went on to launch foundintown.com in January 2012 to solve this problem with a patent-pending lost device recovery service. He and his work with Found in Town have been featured in Fast Company, Business Insider, MSNBC, Crane's Chicago Business, Time Out Chicago, and WGN Radio. Zach was a 2013 Fellow of the Startup Leadership Program, a highly selective, world-class training program for outstanding founders and innovators. Having more than 7 years of experience in immigration law as a corporate paralegal, Zach has also volunteered coordinating and facilitating pro bono visa clinics around Chicago, and recently had editorial work published in Crane's Chicago Business advocating for pragmatic immigration reform. Currently, he is employed by Microsoft Corporation, managing key aspects of Microsoft's non-immigrant visa program. Did you know Zach sits on his butt all day? Clearly, no. Wow. Zach is fluent in Spanish, stemming from a love affair with Shakira's first album while in high school, and typically eats breakfast several times a day. Zach is not here, but accepting for Zach is Connor Tierney.
Hello. Like you
said, it's unfortunate Zach couldn't be here today. If anybody knows Zach, they know that he goes about his life in a couple weird ways. He likes to do everything different than everybody else. So he gave me a couple of talking points he wanted me to go over, and in honor of Zach's quirkiness throughout his life, I figured that I would put it into a poem, since not many people probably have. So here it goes. Zach Haller, my boss, can't be here today, so he sent me a couple things that he'd like me to say. Last month, he was recruited by Microsoft Corporation, where he's contributing his knowledge of tech, fitness, and immigration. He was thrilled to be chosen as an honoree, especially after he saw the list of impressive nominees. Zach is proud to be among all of you, making a difference in Boys Town, which is where he had the idea for his company, Found in Town. Chicago's given him so much that he'll never forget all the lessons he learned and the people he met. He'll remain in Chicago through Found in Town and business, but won't be a stranger at the bars on his visits. Thank you, Windy City Times, and cheers to all the rest. We're 30 under 30 and making a difference for the rest.
We got a little 2-for-1 action here. Anna Rose and Hannah E.E. Epstein. Double the applause, people. Anna Rose, 30, and Hannah, also 30. You see, there are people older than you. Have been married since July 2011 and live in Chicago. They are both founders of Nothing Without a Company, or NWAC, and are artists who strive to create fulfilling work wherever they go. They have both worked with companies such as Mary Archery Theater Company, Silent Theater, The Inconvenience, and Nothing Special Productions. Anna Rose has also worked with The Goodman, Steppenwolf, Victory Gardens Theater, Red Moon, Pride Films and Plays, About Face, and Windy City Performing Arts. Anna Rose is a licensed massage therapist who focuses on energy work and body awareness through breath control. Hannah is finishing Columbia College Chicago with a major in fiction and a minor in playwriting. You can contact them through their website at eeepstein, spelled I, Epstein.com. And did you know, that's not it, but did you know that Anna and Hannah had their ceremony on a beach in Hawaii? When they kissed, a rainbow appeared across the sky. I need that handkerchief sponsorship. Once again, Anna Rose and Hannah E.E. Epstein.
Aloha! Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Aloha! Yeah. Thank you all so much. We are very honored to be here, accepting this honor. We would like to thank Windy City Times, Andrew, Tracy, all of our family in Texas and Hawaii and everywhere else in the world that couldn't be here today. The LGBT community, it's you guys over there and everybody else. The Chicago theater community, hey, all of the family that made it today, thank you guys. And and we look forward to continuing to embrace the gayness. Mahalo.
The next recipient is Yulin Jing. Yulin Jing, 28, is an art therapist and social justice activist working with LGBTQ youth who experience homelessness and trauma in Chicago. Over the past 5 years, she has provided clinical services and supervised numerous students in a concerted effort to develop mental health leaders in the LGBTQ community. After chairing the Ethics Committee of the Illinois Art Therapy Association over the past 2 years, she was recently elected to lead the association as Director of Committees and Community. At the intersection of her clinical and activist passions, she organizes rallies to defend the rights and equality of LGBTQ individuals, women, and immigrants, and facilitates LGBTQ competency trainings for practitioners in Chicago and in her native Taiwan. Did you know that Yulin was born to be an enthusiastic foodie? Love it. She is passionate about every detail in this experience, from the table arrangement to the new restaurant review. She believes that food is an essence of daily living. Yulin, you light up my life. You made my world. Let's get along together. Come on up here. Yulin James.
I'm kind of OCD around food, so just hearing that makes me really excited. First, really thankful for being here, Windy City Times. Thank you so much for this honor. I wouldn't be able to make this journey without youth. So I want to definitely highlight how youth that I'm fortunate to work with are part of my life, then why I survive. So thank you all, including today, sitting on the chair rows. You guys are amazing, fabulous, thank you. And really, one of my really good friends is sitting downstairs, and his name is Johnson. Our friendship is something quite something, that from college, pulling my hair, make sure I'm not messy when I eat or drink too much, to today, like flying 17 hours away to just because we want to see each other and give each other real hugs. So thank you so much for being here, and my family's in Taiwan. I'm here today not just because I'm being queer, but also because everybody here in the community really embraced me. And that including my wonderful coworkers as in our hosted, and I wouldn't be able to make that far without you guys. I love you too. And also everyone who is sitting downstairs. I know it's a very long award ceremony and you guys are amazing. So I want to cheer for you. And don't forget to fight more for youth work. I think youth in our community deserve everything, including everything we had or never had in the future. And those things will come true if everyone really believes in there. So if you don't believe in those youth workers or youth work in Chicago, talk to me and I'll offer you free consultation or food or just take you out to drinks or see movies if you're eligible for doing those things. Let's just keep rocking and make sure that youth deserve everything that we want them to be. So thank you.
Okay, one stack of certificates gone and one stack to go. Here we are. Coming up next, how about little Joe Kaiser? Anybody? Joe Kaiser. Joe Kaiser, 27, is a lifelong Chicago resident who received his bachelor's degree in political science and computer science from the Illinois Institute of Technology in 2009. Joe joined Chicago Blues Brothers roller derby in 2011, skating under the name Rude Gus. Gus is currently the president of the Chicago Blues Brothers, head referee for the Chicago Red Hawks, and an announcer for the Windy City Rollers. In 2013, Gus refereed at the USA Roller Sports Roller Derby National Championships. Gus is a founding member of the Transgender Nonconforming and Intersex Athlete Network, and earlier this year wrote the Men's Roller Derby Association's non-discrimination policy, hailed as incredible by derbyfrontier.com, for welcoming non-binary individuals and removing definitions of gender and barriers for inclusion. This fall, Gus will be skating in the Chicago Blues Brothers 2014 home season at the Lombard Roller Rink. And did you know, by the way, in addition to Rude Gus, Joe has skated under the names Merv Ferguson, Pope Transis, God, I love that name, and Benedict Thunder Snatch. Okay, here it is. Let's bring it up here, Joe Kaiser.
Good evening. So when I got the email about this, my friend Joe Simonis, who's a skater with the Windy City Rollers, founded the TGI Athlete Network with me. And so I emailed her and said, I think I got your award. She's tall and also named Joe, and I can see where it would be confusing. So yeah, it's really awesome to get this. I'm really, thrilled. I spent a little bit of time kind of flabbergasted. It's like, I haven't done anything yet. I haven't done, it's because there's still a lot to do, still a long way to go. So thank you, to Windy City Times for bestowing this upon me. My lady loves, Deona, Valentine, the whole community, my bros, lady bros, Chicago roller derby in general, all the referees, all the announcers I've worked with, for being so inclusive and awesome and welcoming. That doesn't make me any less of a man to be a lady. So, in conclusion, go Bruise Brothers.
Jacob Cozier. Jacob, 27, is originally from Indianapolis, Indiana. He graduated from Princeton University in 2010 with a bachelor's degree in politics before moving to Chicago for a public service fellowship position at Center on Halsted. Jacob served as the Center's Director of Special Events and Volunteers for 2 years, during which time he oversaw the organization's fundraising events and volunteer program. In 2012, he left his position at Center on Halsted to begin graduate school, and this May he received his master's in urban planning and policy from the University of Illinois at Chicago. Jacob is now project manager for Luxury Living Chicago Realty, where he manages leasing at the firm's exclusive rental properties. Jacob lives in East Lakeview with his wonderful boyfriend Paul, and can usually be found running along the lakefront trail. Did you know, in 2013, Jacob lived in the woods for 1 month as a participant on the CW's Capture, a reality competition based on the Hunger Games. Well, may the odds be ever in your favor, Jacob Cozier. And apparently Jacob lost that game and is now in the woods. We will speak his name frequently and think of him often. So congratulations.
All right, let's all give it up now for someone with the same name as one of my cats, Iggy Via Ladden. Iggy is a 24-year-old LGBTQIA therapist and co-project manager of the Trans Safe Resource Center at Chicago House's TLC. They, Iggy uses gender-neutral pronouns, helped shape and run Trans Safe from its inception and continues to support its growth in meeting the needs of Chicago's trans and gender non-conforming community. Iggy has been particularly instrumental in developing Trans Safe's policies, procedures, community relationship, and trauma-informed clinical approach. In addition to their work at Chicago House's Trans Life Center, Iggy offers LGBTQIA-oriented yoga, meditation, and counseling services at Introspectrum and Chicago Counseling Associates. Iggy moved from Fort Collins, Colorado, where they did volunteer work supporting LGBT youth at the Lambda Center, now called The Center, to Chicago to study nonprofit management and social entrepreneurship from the University of Chicago of Social Service and Administration. They received their undergraduate degree from Naropa University in Boulder, grade school, an education which laid the bedrock for Iggy's unique Buddhist-inspired, social justice-oriented, and somatically focused approach to therapy and community leadership. And did you know, Iggy has now spent more than a year of their life in meditation retreats. Iggy goes on days-long or months-long meditation retreats to deepen themselves emotionally and spiritually. Let's all give it up one more time for Iggy Via Ladden.
So, I'm going to hold this. Thank you, Windy City Times. In particular, I want to thank you for the opportunity to meet all of you. I've gotten the chance to speak to some of you before this event, and I hope to after. And I recognize a lot of your faces, including one on YouTube. I knew I recognized your face from somewhere. That was really cool. So I want to say that it would be amazing and really inspiring to, at some point in the future, have the opportunity to collaborate with any of you. I recognize that we come from diverse backgrounds, both in terms of our professions as well as our experiences. And I think at this time in the LGBTQ community, we're coming at a crossroads of many different people working together. And it's both in the interest of the community members that we're serving, as well as ourselves and us as a community, as helping professionals, to learn how to meet each other in our backgrounds. So I'm curious how in the future we can learn to collaborate and address the evolving needs of the LGBTQ community. I had a participant tell me yesterday that the best advice they ever had was to pick a side, and that being in the middle, either on one side of the road or the other, meant that they would get clobbered. And for her, that's a very real reality, navigating transition, being in the gray area when it comes to gender or sexuality, complexity. And I think that theme, not only on the individual level, extends to all of us on the community level, of how can we navigate our very diverse backgrounds and find ourselves in the gray, unrecognizable space that seems pretty queer at first, but I think some amazing things can happen. So thank you so much for this award. Please talk to me afterwards. I'd love to meet all of you.
Come on now. There we go. Keisha Lemores. Keisha Lemores was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, and came to Chicago when she was 14. She spent time in jail and was awarded to DCFS at a young age. She is an openly HIV-positive worker in the LGBT community and went to Chicago House when she was 23. She worked with Bond Wade as an LGBT youth organizer. She currently works as an HIV prevention outreach worker at Howard Area Community Center. She also worked with Tracy Bain, Kim Hunt, Breezy Connor, and Bond Wade on the first annual Windy City Times LGBT Homelessness Youth Summit. Keisha's passion in life is to help build leadership for young members on the LGBT community, especially transgender women of color, letting them know there is positive work being done in the community. She really wants to do her best in giving back and trying to be a better person. Her mantra is, being successful starts from within. You can do anything you put your mind to as long as you don't let anyone take you for granted and show that you're here to stay and people will not dictate your pace. Did you know one of Keisha's culinary favorites is soul food? Clearly she has a lot of it, of soul. Please put your hands together for Keisha Lemores.
Well, I don't have a speech. I am so choked up because there are so many people I want to say thank you, because without them I would not be here, especially Lex Lawson, Dante in the back, Kim Hunt, Windy City Times, Trans Life Center, and a lot of people, because within 6 months of this time period, I have found some people that worked with me to help me get to where I am today. Because it was not with these people at the Chicago House, I would not be standing here. And I'm just so grateful, and I'm nervous at the same time, but I'm so grateful, and I just want to say thank you all for seeing something in me And that's all I can say. And I just want to say thank you.